Well, they look great and sound great.
I think they should have sent the Ben Davis football team out there to represent the Big Ten, because Ohio State isn't doing very well right now. 2 of today's 5 college bowl games are now over, and so is the college career of Heisman Trophy winner Doug Flutie. All that's left for him now is to decide whether to go to the USFL or the NFL. This afternoon, Boston College Eagles held on to beat Houston in the Cotton Bowl. Flutie started things up rather dramatically with a 63-yard bomb to Kelvin Martin. For Martin, this would be his 11th touchdown reception of the year, and Boston College had an early 7-0 lead over the Houston Cougars in Dallas. It was 14-0 when Troy Stansford will wander into the flatties all alone. Flutie spots him, and it's an 8-yard touchdown play for Boston College. On the Boston College kickoff, the Eagles got a large dose of Houston's quickness. Earl Allen will spot it at the 2. He goes virtually untouched for 98 yards, and that is a Cotton Bowl record. Houston gets some momentum going here. It's 14-7 Boston College at that point. What a run there by Allen. With the score 17-7, Flutie under pressure. He does get rid of it to Gerard Phelan for 13 yards. It was 24-7. And with Strahan on this dive here, it looked like it was going to be a runaway at 31-7. But Houston scored 3 touchdowns unanswered. The last one off a Doug Flutie mistake. He maybe shouldn't have thrown this pass here. McMillan intercepts for Houston. This caps off 3 touchdowns in a row scored by Houston, and they come back and trail by only 3, 31-28 in the 4th quarter. But Boston College would put the ice on this game late in the game on an 18-yard run by Troy Stansford. Turns out to be his 2nd touchdown of the day. The final, Boston College 45, Houston 28. In the Fiesta Bowl, it was UCLA and the Miami Hurricanes, last year's national champions. Quarterback Bernie Kosar is probably wondering, what does it take to win a football game? He's had 3 of them finish up like this. The Bruins scored first on a 6-yard run by Gaston Green, what would be a very high-scoring affair. 7-0 UCLA in the Valley of the Sun. Miami's Darrell Oliver answers with a 33-yard scamper down the sideline to tie the game at 7-7. Later, with UCLA punting, one of many great runs today. You just saw one for a kickoff return a moment ago. This one is a punt return for 68 yards. Despite bobbling the ball, Eddie Brown, look at the blocking he gets. He needs 2 blocks. He gets one there, another one there, and it's a 68-yard touchdown play, 14-7 Miami. Kosar now goes 48 yards in the air to Brian Blades to make it 21-7 for Miami. This was an incredible game. And another outstanding run coming up by UCLA. It's Green for his 2nd touchdown of the day. This one goes for 72 yards. This one goes back and forth all day, but at this point it was UCLA leading 21-14. UCLA will come back and get the advantage at halftime on a 33-yard field goal by John Lee. They had the lead at that point, and they put a little bit of padding on that lead in the 3rd quarter. 29-24 on quarterback Steve Bono's 10-yard pass to Mike Sherrard. Miami goes back in front late in the game. A 3-yard pass to Melvin Bratton, but with 51 seconds to go, the winning field goal by Lee, his 3rd field goal of the day, 22 yards out. It's 39-37 UCLA. Right now in the Rose Bowl, it's halftime, and it's USC leading Ohio State 17-3. Later on tonight, it's 11th-ranked LSU taking on number 5 Nebraska in the Sugar Bowl, and in the Orange Bowl, number 2 Oklahoma meets number 4 Washington. In case last night is still a blur to you, West Virginia won the Blue Bonnet Bowl 31-14 over Texas Christian. West Virginia goes 80 yards on its opening possession. This is White to John Gay for the touchdown. Texas Christian only able to tie up the game once. Anthony Gully will go 5 yards to Dan Sharp, and from there on, it's all Mountaineers. Kevin White will go 62 yards in the air to Gary Mullen. This was his 2nd touchdown pass on the evening. The Horned Frogs of TCU got in deep trouble when the pitch out is fumbled. Look at that celebration in the end zone. The pitch out is fumbled by Tatum here, and it's recovered by West Virginia at the 1. Van Richardson recovers the football, and John Hollifield will take it on in to make it 21-7. White on the rollout, 5 yards to Ron Wolfe. The final last night, West Virginia 31, TCU 14. The Purdue Boilermakers arrived back in West Lafayette this morning. They have until September to erase the sting from yesterday's Peach Bowl. It was turnovers that cost Purdue the game, 2 critical ones in the 4th quarter. Near midfield, Ray Wallace coughed it up, which helped set up the go-ahead score for the Cavaliers and coach George Welsh. The 22-yard field goal with 7 minutes to go gave them the 27-24 lead. They came through under the pressure, and this shows that Welsh had a lot of confidence in his defense. The Boilers were shut out in the second half. It looked like this could be the winning drive, but Everett's 252-yard passing day was marred by an interception. This one by Ray Daly sealed it for Virginia 27-23.
That was a great comeback for this football team, and I said this once before, I'm not sure how we're doing it, but they're doing it somehow.
They told me that the halftime talk did a lot of good.
Well, usually they don't, but I was a little angry. I thought we kind of let up in the second, didn't have a real good second quarter, and I didn't want to go down. You know, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down fighting. So it's, I'm surprised we held them scoreless in the second half, though.
Preparations are underway for this weekend's NFL playoff games that will determine who goes to the Super Bowl. When Miami hosts Pittsburgh Sunday in the AFC Championship, it will be the second time those two will see each other. The Dolphins won their first encounter in Pittsburgh 31-7. Dan Marino doesn't expect this one to be as easy as it was at Three River Stadium.
And they rush the passer very well, and they do a lot of good things on defense, and it's going to be very challenging for us. And it's nice to know that, you know, we could play the Steelers too, because I'm from Pittsburgh and I've always been a fan of the Steelers when I was younger. So.
The Pacers resume their road swing tonight in Utah. George Irvin and company beat the Jazz at home 2 weeks ago, 88-81, and they'll be looking for their second straight win after beating Kansas City on Saturday. And the Checkers wrapped up 1984 with a win at home last night, 6-4 over Milwaukee. That snapped a three-game losing streak. Lance Allen from Carmel got a hat trick in only his third professional game. They'll travel to Toledo tomorrow. Last night, the Islanders at Minnesota on the face-off. North Stars with the power play. Smith will stop this shot by Payne, but Kurt Giles is there for the rebound. Minnesota beats New York last night 4-3. Two games this afternoon in the NHL. Washington has beaten Boston 5-1, and Calgary has beaten Winnipeg by a score of 5-3. Let's look at sports.
Thanks, Dick, and we'll have more in a moment.
And there are a lot of games to watch today on TV. 5 games, one still underway?
Let's jump right in and show you 4 of them tonight. The Big Ten Conference has now lost 14 of the last 16 Rose Bowl games. The Pac-10 has now won 4 in a row, but at least this year it was a game for all 4 quarters. Ohio State and USC this time around. The Buckeyes get off to a good start. Keith Byers with a 50-yard run. He goes all the way to the USC 5-yard line, but all Ohio State could come up with in the first half is 2 field goals. USC comes up with 2 touchdowns. Tim Green, 4 yards to Joe Cormier. It was 10-3 at this point in the first quarter. Later, Green goes to Timmy Ware on a 19-yard touchdown play. It was 17-6 Trojans at the half. Ohio State makes their move in the fourth quarter. Mike Tomczak, an 18-yard strike. He's rolling out. He hits Chris Carter, and the Buckeyes decide to go for 2 points. Tomczak will keep it himself, and Ohio State gets within a field goal 20-17 with under a minute to go is when the outcome was decided in this game. And Ohio State at midfield, USC comes up with the interception, killing the Bucs' chances, and USC wins the Rose Bowl 20-17. At the Superdome in New Orleans, number 11 LSU versus number 5 Nebraska. The Tigers cap off a 73-yard second quarter drive on Dalton Hilliard's 1-yard run and take a 10-0 lead, but Nebraska comes right back. Great execution by Husker quarterback Craig Sundberg on the throwback screen. 32-yard scoring play to Doug Dubose. It was 10-7 LSU at the half, but in the third quarter, Sundberg rolls out 9 yards for the touchdown. They get 3 touchdowns in the second half. Nebraska goes on to win it in the Sugar Bowl 28-10. One game still going on, and just in the fourth quarter, Oklahoma has kicked a field goal, and it's 17-14, Oklahoma leading. We're all tied 14-all, so that's the way it stands. They missed that field goal. Doug Flutie bowed out of college football gracefully at the Cotton Bowl, completing 13 of 36 passes for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. He started things off with a 63-yard bomb to Kelvin Martin. Boston College went on to take a 31-7 lead over Houston, but the Cougars came roaring back and got some momentum of their own when Earl Allen takes this kickoff from the 2-yard line and races 98 yards for a Cotton Bowl record-setting touchdown. Houston would make up 3 touchdowns and make it a 3-point deficit late in the game, but an 18-yard run by Troy Stratford helped Boston College go on to beat the Cougars this afternoon in Dallas. The final 45-28, Boston College is the winner. At the Fiesta Bowl, UCLA and Miami traded the lead 7 times. The outcome wasn't decided until the final minute of play. UCLA built up a 36-24 lead on Steve Bono's 33-yard pass to Mike Young, but back came the Hurricanes. Melvin Bratton stormed in on a 19-yard run. The 2-point conversion failed, making it 36-30 in favor of the Bruins. With just 3 minutes to go, Bernie Kosar goes to Bratton for 3 yards. It's 37-36 Miami. And with 51 seconds to go, it took a 22-yard field goal by John Lee. He had 3 field goals on the day. UCLA wins the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona, 39-37. Chuck Knox says he'll be staying on as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. There was speculation he would take over the Detroit Lions vacancy. And tomorrow, John Elway will undergo arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. You may remember he was hampered in that playoff game against the Steelers on Sunday. And tonight in the NBA, the Pacers are in Utah tonight. They had a 4-point lead at halftime. Utah has come back. They lead right now in the third quarter at 86-84. The Pacers, of course, are trying to go for their second win in a row in this 5-game road streak. They go on Thursday night to play at Golden State. Pacers trying to get something going, maybe make a run at the playoffs, but right now it looks pretty bad. They've only won 8 games so far this season.
That's not too good.
Nope.
But that'd be nice for the fans.
Maybe they could get something going on this road swing.
Yeah.
I
Thanks, Dick.
certainly hope so.
All right.
And we'll have more right after this.